So, what is going on YouTube? This is Sam from TeamSamuraiX1 here, and today guys, I'm coming at you with my ELEMENTSABER deck profile for the 2018 format post Flames of Destruction. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see more deck profiles like these, make sure you guys go down there right now and smash that thumbs up button. That'll be absolutely amazing, guys. And first and foremost, I'd like to apologize if you guys can hear my voice. It's a little bit raspy. I am not sick. I recently just watched The Avengers, okay? When I was in the theater, I screamed so loud. Okay, guys, you don't even understand. I was super excited for that movie. So my voice is a little bit raspy from that. And the next morning, I watched My Hero Academia, and I screamed even louder watching the episode, and now my voice is like this. And I've been, trying to recover to regain my voice back for the past couple of days. And I was, you know what? It's time to showcase you guys this deck profile, my ELEMENTSABER deck. This deck is super spicy. Throughout weeks of testing, this is by far the best version you guys will ever see on the internet, and I'm very confident of that. 8 or 9 out of 10 games, you guys will literally see a field spell in your hand every single time. I'm telling you guys right now, there is no version like this on the internet. And I'm telling you guys right now, this list is super unique, and you guys will never find something like this on the internet. So, you know what, guys? Remember this deck profile when I first posted it? This list is insane. By the way, guys, if you guys want help support the channel, this is the last day to get your 120,000 subscriber playmat. If you guys haven't gotten your hands on these will be no longer available, okay? So I actually had these on sale between 120,000 to 130,000, since by the time you guys are probably already watching this video, my channel probably already hit over 130,000 subscribers. If you guys are watching the video right now, okay, right now, if I'm talking to you right now, you guys can get the playmat. Okay, last chance for you guys to get the playmat today. I'll leave a link in the description box below to my Facebook page. All you guys gotta do is send me a direct message, and I'll give you guys full details on how you guys can get the mat. So make sure you guys go down there and help support the channel and get your 120,000 subscriber playmat. Start with the monster real quick. We're gonna play, of course, triple Lapau Mana. This card is hands down the best ELEMENTSABER monster in the entire deck. If you guys do not know what her effect is, that you can send 2 other monsters from your hand to the graveyard, special summon this card from your hand, apply the following effects to ELEMENTSABER and Elemental Lord monster you control, depending on the original attributes of any ELEMENTSABER monsters sent to the graveyard to activate this card's effect. If you send an Earth or Wind, your ELEMENTSABER and your Elemental Lord monsters on the board cannot be destroyed by battle. If you send a Water or Fire, they cannot be destroyed by card effects. If you send a Light or Dark, your opponent cannot target it with card effect. I either send an Earth or Wind plus a Fire to the graveyard, so that way that all my ELEMENTSABER monsters on the board cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effect, which is absolutely insane. So she's the heart and soul of the entire deck. She literally gets all your plays going, and it's basically a huge Foolish Burial for the deck, so that way that you can summon your Elemental Lord monsters like Moon Glacia, your Windrose, or your Pyrorex. She combos off really, really well with the field spell, and the field spell can add her directly from the deck to your hand. Next off, for your level 4 ELEMENTSABER monsters, you're gonna play, of course, triple ELEMENTSABER Lapau. Okay, this card is the younger version of Lapau Mana, of course. Look at that. She evolved into this card right here, which is pretty cool. Play triple Elemental Saber Malehu. These cards are absolutely insane in the deck. What Lapau effect says that once per turn, when a spell or trap card is activated, which is a quick effect, you can send 1 ELEMENTSABER monster from your hand to the graveyard, negate the activation if you do destroy it. Once per turn, if this card is in the graveyard, you can declare 1 attribute. This card's in the graveyard, become that attribute until the end of this turn. And this effect says that once per turn, which is a quick effect, you can basically send 1 ELEMENTSABER monster from your hand to the graveyard and target 1 face-up monster on the field, change it to face-down defense position, and then it has the same secondary effect where you're able to change its attribute while it's in the graveyard. The really good thing about these effects is that these effects are not once per turn effects, and these cards combo off really well with the field spell, because instead of sending cards from the hand to the graveyard, the field spell will let you Foolish Burial the ELEMENTSABER monster directly to the graveyard from the deck. So Lapau is your spell and trap card negator, and of course Malehu actually helps you in trouble out of combo plays. Let's say you're facing against Spirals. They have 2 Spiral monsters on the board. You can activate Malehu's effect to flip one of the Spiral monsters face down, so that way that they can make double helix. And that's just a very big example of how you guys can actually utilize Malehu in the deck. Next off, you're going to play, of course, triple ELEMENTSABER Makani. She's a reinforcer of the army for the deck. What she does is that once per turn, you can send 1 ELEMENTSABER monster from your hand to the graveyard, add 1 ELEMENTSABER or Elemental Lord monster directly from your deck into your hand. So not only does she search your Elemental Saber monsters like Malehu or Lapau or Lapau Mana, she gets access to any of your Elemental Lord monsters directly from your deck to your hand. So if you're playing the Windrose, the Pyrex, or the Moon Glacia, she can search those cards directly from your deck to your hand. As always, for all the Elemental Saber monsters, Element Saber monsters, is that you can change their attribute in the graveyard, so that way that you can easily summon cards like Moon and Glacial. Next off, for your monster reborn of the deck, you're gonna play, of course, triple Elemental Saber Aina. She's absolutely amazing. What she does is that once per turn, you can send one Elemental Saber monster from your hand to the graveyard and target one Elemental Saber monster, except for Elemental Saber Aina or Elemental Lord monster in your graveyard. Special summon it from your graveyard, ignoring its summoning conditions. So if you have Moon and Glacial or Phosphorage in the graveyard, or Windrose or Pyrex, you can easily activate Aina's effect, especially with the field spell on the board, to send a Elemental Saber monster directly from your deck to the graveyard, to special summon an Elemental Lord monster from a graveyard, special summon Moon and Glacial, or special summon, any of your Elemental Lords that you're playing in the deck, and you get to trigger off the Elemental Lord's effect, which is really amazing. So play triple copy of Elemental Saber Aina is definitely a must-have in the deck, and she gets to change her attributes in the graveyard like every other Element Saber. And the two last Element Saber monster playing in the deck is double Element Saber Malo. The really good thing about Malo is that this card actually fuels your graveyard for your Elemental Lord monsters. He's able to send two Element Saber or Elemental Lord cards directly from your deck or hand to the graveyard, depending if you have the fuel spot or not, which is really good. So Foolish Barrow is actually very important in the deck, in my personal opinion, and the more names that you have in your graveyard, the more easier you're actually going to be able to drop cards like Phosphorage and also Moon and Glacial. So that's pretty much it for all the Element Saber monsters you're playing in the deck. You're not playing Nalu. Nalu is not good in the deck whatsoever, in my personal opinion, but if you guys definitely want to include her in the deck, you guys can go ahead and do that. Off to our boss monster, we're going to play, of course, the one Moon and Glacial, the Elemental Lord. Shoutouts to Jack Lee, for letting me borrow this card. I actually didn't have this card for the deck profile, and you guys all know I hate proxies, so shoutouts to you, Jack, if you're watching this video, for lending me this card for the profile. And then you want to play the one Phosphorage, the Elemental Lord. I believe these two are the best Elemental Lords that you should play in the deck. This is a searchable Regeki, and this card is actually able to do new cards of your opponent's hand. You guys can also play Pyrex or Windrose. I don't really believe that Pyrex is too good in my personal opinion, but Windrose is pretty nice to actually clear back row. If the format changes to back row heavy decks, I'll definitely be including Windrose into the deck, but I believe that first turn Moon and Glacial and having a searchable Regeki to actually clear your opponent's board for a mass amount of damage is just absolutely amazing. But that's just my personal preference. If you guys want to play Windrose or Pyrex, you guys can add those into the deck. And remember, guys, these cards are protected while Element Saber mana's on the board. So if you send an Earth and a Fire to the graveyard, these cards can be protected from card effects and also be protected from use by battle, which is amazing. And then for one of the best boss monsters in your deck is you're playing the Dark Arm Dragon. Dark Arm Dragon is insane. The reason why you're playing Dark Arm Dragon in the deck is because you can easily make 3 darks. All the Element Saber monsters can change their attribute in the grave. So if let's say you have 5 Elemental Saber in the grave, you can change 3 of them to be darks, and you can easily drop Dark Arm Dragon, which is amazing. And he has basically unlimited ammo, because as long as you can just keep changing the attribute to darks, you can banish those dark monsters in the graveyard to pop cards on the field. So Dark Arm Dragon, really broken in this deck. This is what makes my deck spicy. You are playing the one Darkest Diablos, Lord of the Lair. The reason why this card is in here is because you're playing Lair of Darkness, which I'll explain in a second. So Darkest Diablos is in here because it's my spicy tech, and I'll explain to you guys the synergy that it has with this deck. And then you're playing double the Strudel, alright, and one Mare. Okay, so the reason why you're playing the Strudel and Mare is because you can easily access Yazi, and Yazi gives you access to Saruja, gives you access to Borreload, and of course, shout out to my boy Hanko Chow. We're actually playtesting this deck, and Hanko was like, what are the most efficient ways to actually get to your field spell? Because this deck is so reliant on field spell, the most efficient way to seize his cards and to actually help you see field spell is making Ancient Fairy Dragon. So you're playing cards like Dragon Ravine in the deck, which is insane. Dragon Ravines dump the Strudel, so that way they can get access to Ancient Fairy Dragon first turn. If you see Dragon Ravine first turn, you instantly have the first turn field spell, which is amazing. So the Strudel helps you access Yazi, which gives you to the Mare combo, which results into your Borreload, Saruja, and the Strudel is just really powerful overall to actually help you access Black Rose, Yazi, and also Ancient Fairy Dragon, so that way that you can see your field spell as quickly as possible. And Darkest Diablos can also be sent to the graveyard using Dragon's Ravine's effect, and you're also playing Lair of Darkness, which I'll explain to you guys in a second. Seeing these cards in your first turn opening hand guarantees you that you will see your Palace of the Elemental Lords as quickly as possible. So Ravine is just super broken. Next off for the viewers, we're going to play, of course, Triple Palace of the Elemental Lord. This card is absolutely insane. This card is the bread and butter of the deck. Without this card, the deck is completely useless. Let me tell you guys right now. So that's why you actually want to see this card as quickly as possible. If you guys do not know what this card does, is that all monsters you control gains attack equal to the number of different attributes in your graveyard times 200. So if you have many attributes in the graveyard, your monster literally becomes very, very big. Once per turn, you can add one Elemental Saber monster directly from your deck to your hand. So this card is a once per turn Rhoda, but the only downside about this card is that you have to skip your next battle phase. Once per turn, if an Elemental Saber monster in your hand or field would send cards from the hand to the graveyard to activate an effect, you can send that many Elemental Saber monster from your deck to the graveyard instead. So this field spell is really important because for every Elemental Saber monster you have in your deck, instead of sending from the hand to the graveyard, it sends from the deck to the graveyard, so that way that you don't have to discard cards in your hand, so that way that you can just gain more hand advantage that way. So that's why you want to see this card in your hand as quickly as possible. So La Pau'ila mana works really well with Palace of the Elemental Lords. And the really good thing about this card is that this card is not a hard once per turn. So if you have multiple copies of this card in your hand, you can use it and then get your surges directly from the deck to your hand, which is really good. Definitely a must-off. And you want to see this card in your opening hand as much as possible. And that's why you're playing cards like Triple Terraforming. Terraforming gets you access to Palace of the Elemental Lords because you want to see this card in your opening hand. So you're playing 6 Palaces in the deck. And with the addition, you're also playing triple Dragon's Ravine in the deck. So you're playing 9 copies of Palace of the Elemental Lords, because Dragon Ravine, with any Elemental Saber monster that's level 4 or lower, you get access to Ancient Fairy Dragon. Ancient Fairy Dragon pops Dragon Ravine, gets you access to Palace. Palace searches your La Pau'ila mana, and then you can just basically start a combo off from there. And Ancient Fairy Dragon gets you a special summon, okay? These Elemental Saber monster has a once per turn effect, not an on summon effect. So if you special summon these cards from your hand, you can easily able to activate their effects. So these cards are definitely necessary in the deck. I don't see any builds whatsoever that plays Dragon Ravine or Destrudo. Destrudo gets you access to Black Rose, your Yazi, and also your Ancient Fairy Dragon, which is insane. So you must play 9 copies of this card. Try it out yourself. If you see any of these green cards in your opening hand, you're pretty much going to be able to set up a first turn board of Ancient Fairy Dragons, La Pau'ila, and also like a Malehu, which is amazing. So definitely, guys, this is my spicy tech. You must play these cards in the deck. And the last field spell I'm playing in the deck is, of course, the 1 Layer of Darkness. I'll explain to you guys the synergy that this card has later once I progress through the video. And remember, guys, keep this card in mind. This card is absolutely busted, especially coming off with Darkest Diablos in a second. So I'll explain to you guys later why these 2 cards are really important in the deck. And for the last spells you're playing in the deck is Double Pot of Desires and 1 Reinforce of the Army. This card literally helps you see your spell cards as quickly as possible, so you want to draw into your field spells. And you're playing so many copies of the Element Saber monsters. It doesn't really matter on what you desires, but Desire literally increases your hand size, so that way that you can see your Element Saber monster in your hand, just in case you don't see Palace, so you can discard your Element Saber monster from your hand to the graveyard to trigger out their effects, which is amazing. So you obviously just want to increase your hand size with Desires, and also gives you more chances of seeing one of your field spells, and Reinforce the Army, your whole entire deck or Warrior. So Rhoda is definitely a must-have in the deck. And guys, last but not least, the best elemental card in the deck, Triple Elemental Triangle. This card is insane. I've seen so many builds where they only play 1 of this or they play none. I don't understand why, but this card is busted. Right. So if you have Palace on the board and you flip Elemental Training, Palace cannot be destroyed. And you want to protect Palace as much as possible. And this card protects Palace. So why not play triple copies of this card? It gets better from here, guys. Ready? Once per turn, you contribute 1 monster. Special 1 Element Saber monster from your deck with a different original attribute than that monster's. The last effect you don't really use to discard your entire hand because that'll be a neg, but you want to use this card for its first and secondary effect. Secondary effect is broken. So let's say you tribute summon a win, you can special summon any other Elemental Saber monster from the deck other than the win. And this is also why I'm playing the Layer of Darkness engine. The reason why the Layer of Darkness engine is just very good in this deck is because 1, Dragon Ravine can send Darkest Diablos directly from the deck to the graveyard. And if you have a Molehu on the board, okay, which is a dark, and you have Darkest Diablos in your graveyard, and you use Elemental Training to tribute off the Molehu, okay, you can easily special summon a 3000 beat stick from your graveyard for absolutely free, which is insane. Alright, guys, and of course, shout out to my boy Lucas. I only had 2 copies of Molehu, but Lucas gave me the 3rd one. Lucas, if you're watching this video, bro, don't forget that I didn't shout you out. So shout out to you, bro, for giving me the 3rd copy of this. Shout out to you, Lucas. And especially Layer of Darkness synergizes really well with Elemental Training. So when you have Layer of Darkness on the board, you can tribute your opponent's monster with Elemental Training to special summon your Element Saber monsters directly from the deck. That's flipping insane. Alright, guys, so every turn, if you have Layer of Darkness on the board with Elemental Training, you literally can disrupt your opponent's play by activating Elemental Training, tribute your opponent's monster, special summon any Element Saber monster from the deck that's different from the attribute you tributed, and it has to be different from the original attribute. So let's say you tribute summon your opponent's token, that's a dark, you can special summon any other Element Saber monster from the deck other than dark. If your opponent has a water monster, obviously all the monsters on the board becomes dark monster, but if you tribute off their water, you can special summon any other Element Saber monster from the deck other than water, which is insane. So Layer of Darkness combo out with Elemental Training is probably the most spiciest thing I've actually came up with in the deck. So their darkness, guys, insane. A very good tech, very good one-of, and especially calling out Darkest Diablos to revive itself back from the graveyard each time you tribute a dark monster, especially with Malehu, is just really amazing. So, and I'm telling you guys right now, throughout testing, this is by far the best version. So that's pretty much it for the main deck, guys. Main deck is absolutely perfect. Make sure you guys try this deck out for yourself. It's so spicy, so spicy. For the extra deck, you're gonna play, of course, the one Yazi Evo, the Yang Zing. You special in Mare directly from the deck with this, which is really cool. Ancient Fairy Dragon gets you access to your field spell, which is really important, and your Black Rose Dragon. All right, guys, to nuke the entire board. Bolo Dragon, your Saruja. You can make Saruja in the deck very easily using Yazi Evo, the Yang Zing to bring out Mare. Decode Talker, double Isolde. Two Tails of the Noble Knights. You can easily summon Isolde because your entire deck is warrior monsters. And getting access to La Pauila mana directly from your deck to your hand for next turn, which is really good as well. Next, we're going to play the one Curious Lightsworn Dominion, Link Karibo for the Saruja play, Proxy Dragon, Link Spider, Underclock Taker, and last but not least, for the rank 4 I'm playing is number 39 Utopia and Utopia the Lightning. I barely make this card, but it's good to have it just in case for situations that you can just run over a big problematic monster. Really good. So that's pretty much for the deck profile, guys. If you guys want to see a duel video with this, me playing this deck, smash thumbs up button. I'll show you guys a duel video this week. Go down there right now and smash the thumbs up button. Let me know what do you guys think about this deck. Try it out yourself. This by far the best list you'll ever see on the internet. And I'm just very confident because I've been playtesting this deck for a couple weeks now, and it's giving me the best results. But I tested the Invoke version. It's not that great. Still good, but this version is by far the best. If you guys don't believe me, try it out yourself, and I'll playtest this deck for you guys. Overall, I can see this deck potentially becoming tier in the future. I have a lot of deck profiles coming up this week, and my voice is literally killing me. Please don't hate me, guys. Please don't hate this video because my voice is bad. I just really wanted to post this deck profile for you guys as quickly as possible. Thank you guys so much for watching. Get your playmat today while you guys can. And this is Sam from TeamSamuraiX1 signing out. All right, guys. Peace.
I feel like Usain in the cheetah print. Talk fresh game, I don't need a minute. R.I.P. the game, I need a minute. Okay, let's proceed with it. I'm in the house, got the deed with it. These bozos always sneak this and they taking shots. I'm a key with it. Like, no, this league business.